make sure when you start a business, this is so important, that you not only serve it, but that it actually serves you. What do I mean? We're going to break that down today in this video because I think it's probably one of the most overlooked topics for business owners and aspiring business owners, right? The premise behind why most people start a business is that they don't want to have a boss. They don't want to work for someone. They want to be an entrepreneur, which is why they in turn become a business owner. But we got to be careful that we don't fire a boss and then end up hiring a full-time obligation that far exceed whatever work that whatever time we were putting in our previous context at work. And so that's what I mean by we have to create businesses that not only we serve, but that also serve us. And there's multiple components to that. I want to cover probably 3 of those with you guys in this video today, and maybe I'll make a part 2. If this is something that interests you, if this is something that's helpful to you, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. Okay. Now, there's 3 different approaches to starting a business that serves you. Okay. So first of all, is it purposeful, right? I think many of us start businesses to obviously make money, right? That's a core fundamental in being a business owner. We don't have a business if we're not making money. But in that, it's not necessarily that we're making money, it's how we're making money. So is it purposeful, right? Real estate is so interesting to me because I've been doing it for almost 2 decades. And I tell people, I'm not in love with real estate. At the end of the day, it's taking old, dilapidated places and putting a bunch of time, energy, resources, money into these places to make them habitable for either for sale or for rent, right? That's real estate at its core. And there's nothing sexy about walking around in an old 1923, a property built in 1923 that's 100 years old. You've seen one, you've seen them all, right? You quickly get over the the excitement of going into said kind of environments. So then it just becomes like transactions. So what is it that's purposeful about it? Well, as I mentioned, once we get it to the finish line, once we have got it habitable to a certain position, now we can either rent that thing out to somebody that has the appetite and desire to live in a place such as one that we provided, or we actually go and sell this to someone who it could be coined as their dream home, right? And then all along the way, we're providing work for contractors to take care of their families, realtors, appraisers. There's so many people involved in each transaction that if you focus on the relationships, if you focus on the opportunity to help people at that level, then it becomes less about the real estate. The real estate just gives you the opportunity and or the platform for all these other things to happen, right? So is it purposeful? The second thing is, does it align with your lifestyle? Okay. And I was on a podcast recently, or I don't know where I was at. Maybe I was in Philly. I was at a meeting. Maybe I was on a podcast and I was in Philly. How about that? And I was asked about like, how much time do I work in my real estate business right now? And so for those of you that don't know, I own over 120 units, apartments. I live here in Orlando. They're predominantly in Detroit. And so my entire investment model has been and is currently investing remotely. Okay. And so is all of our students. We got students in Denmark, Japan, Afghanistan, all throughout the states that also invest remotely. And remotely don't always mean 800 miles away, although it's commonly practiced that way. But it really is about how you set up your business to replicate you in the marketplace so that you don't have to deal with all the day-to-day minutia. So what does that mean? So we identify what's called project managers. We train them up to have them go out and deal with the day-to-day rigors of having a real estate business, and so that we can focus on the 2 highest and best use, which is raising more capital and analyzing more deals, right? Filling up your pipeline. So anyway, I digress. I get into that more in a different video, but at the core of it all, I told them when they asked me how much time am I putting into my business, which is a multi-million-dollar portfolio, well over 100 units, I'm like 6 to 8 hours a month. And they were flabbergasted, right? Like, how do you have such a big operation, particularly 800 miles away, and only putting 6 to 8 hours a month? And it's not, again, it's not what we do, it's how we do it. And we've gotten really good and instrumental at setting up, first identifying the who in our business, and then the how and the what they should be doing, and then having good cadences and systems and processes that, again, eliminates you from all the day to day. And so, like, for instance, on a given week, I'll have a 30-minute call on Mondays with my project manager, and then I'll have another call with her on Thursdays for 30 minutes, and then I have a call with my property management team for 30 minutes. And yes, some stuff comes up during the week here and there, but those are typically quick conversations. But that's the normal cadence in my business. And so when you add that up, an hour and a half a week, that's 6 hours a month, right? And so that's pretty cool trade-off. 6 hours a month for a multi-million-dollar business that makes tens of thousands of dollars a month, right? Makes sense. So, just thinking about, does the business serve your lifestyle? So, I mean, think about it, right? If I'm putting six hours in a month into something that produces, millions of dollars in net worth and tens of thousands of dollars on a monthly basis, hundreds of thousands of dollars annually, that's probably a business that serves me, right? And then, I want you guys to think about how, and I feel a victim to this, where we quit one thing, jump into another, and then find out, like, my God, I'm working, like, I thought working 80 hours a week. I mean, 80 hours bi-weekly was a drag in corporate America. Like, I'm working 80 hours in a week as a business owner. And I'm not knocking, like, we all have to start where we stand. Obviously, I didn't just start one day working 6 to 8 hours a month in my real estate business. Like, it took time to get it to that point. But I'm saying that if we're in a position where we're working in and on our business to a point where every single week in and week out is 60, 70-hour weeks, we need to really take some time to reconsider, like, how did we get here? And we got to be okay with, although we got here, that we're okay with getting away from here. Because, again, it goes far beyond just making money, right? Number one, does it help me fulfill my purpose? Okay. And two, does it serve me in terms of my lifestyle? Does it complement my lifestyle? Okay. And then lastly, this one is very important. Number three is, does it really make money? Right? Because I think another thing that we confuse a lot of the time in business, because we're passionate about things, that it's not really a business. It's not profitable. Right? It's a passion project, which a passion project that don't make money is really a hobby at best. Like, let's be honest, it's a paid hobby, but it's not something that's sustainable and scalable that can truly give you the lifestyle that you want. And so at some point we have to be okay with understanding there is a time and place for passion projects, but it's not until you have profit projects, right? We got to be making profit. We have to be earning the type of income that will allow us to put energy, time, and resources into passion projects that may or may not have, a monetary gain behind them. Hopefully they do. They all should. Just so y'all know, nonprofits make a lot of money. Okay, that's a clue. And so your passion projects should still bring in some profit, but at the same time, you got to have a core business that goes out and produces the income to then allow you to do those things. Okay. So again, the premise behind this video was to just shed some light on when we go out and start businesses. It's not enough that we're a business owner. It's not enough that we're an entrepreneur. The questions we have to ask ourselves is the business I'm in purpose driven? Like, do I get to fulfill some of my purpose and the gift that God has blessed me with? Right. Secondly, does it complement my lifestyle? Right. Does it give me the time freedom that I once thought was attainable? Is it something that I'm working toward, or is it just no chance in sight that I'm gonna ever get off of this cycle of working so hard because maybe the business is not even performing well enough for me to bring in other people that I can delegate, and I'm gonna always be stuck, right? A slave to this business, stuck inside this business. One of my I'll leave you guys with this last thought. One of the places I frequent is a cigar lounge. Actually, two of them now that I think about it. And both owners, while they do really well for themselves, $500,000 or more, the other one probably does $1.5 million a year, I would guess. They're there all the time. And yes, it looks like a lifestyle business because they're there and they having cigars and entertaining with the guests and all the rest of it. But I promise you, and I asked them, I'm that guy, right? I got to know. Like, do you legitimately want to be here this much? And they got property in different places that they would like to frequent and not have to be there. But if they're not there, like, the business just doesn't do as well. And they've tried it. And so now they're held hostage in a place that should be freeing them to go do the things that they want to do in life. And so we got to be very careful that we don't pigeonhole ourselves. And then lastly, number 3, this is another reminder. It's got to make some money, y'all. Like, it's cool. It may look good on the gram. The business cards are amazing. Your website, 2 thumbs up. But it's not making you money, then it's a hobby. And there's a time and place for hobbies. But we got to have businesses that are printing profits. Printing profits, okay? If this video was helpful to you, if this unlocked some things, if this freed some things, if this gave you some insight, please share this with a friend, a loved one, a fellow business owner, colleague, whomever, and like and subscribe and comment below. Let me know if this was helpful. I will see you guys in the next video. All right.